Hi guys, you're listening to the Amazing Plastic Podcast, otherwise known as the AP Podcast. This episode was recorded on Tuesday, March 11th, 2014, and I am your host with the most. My name is Danny Armour King Monaghan, and today there's no host, no other guests. It's just me talking into a mic, and I'd like to thank all you guys who download the podcast, who listen to the podcast via YouTube. And again, guys, I really would like to thank all of you guys who go way above and beyond the call of duty, so to say, just to support our small community. And some of the people I'd really like to thank is the sponsors of Amazing Plastic. And those sponsors are Tenor Controls, they bring your models to life. Acrylicos Vallejo airbrush model paints and painting supplies, the Fiber Optic Store, Lou's Aztec dummy painting masks, and of course, what good is having an airbrush paint if you don't have an airbrush? Big thank you to Awada Matea for supporting Amazing Plastic here and everything that we do, and a big thank you to PM Hobbycraft out of Canada for all your hobby needs. Their store may be small, but their inventory is huge. And today, well, let's just say that this podcast is going to be a very unique one, and it's ironically simply because I read a post earlier today on the Amazing Plastic forums from a Luke Starsky. I hope I said your name right, about the M1A1 Abrams 2003 Iraq model kit from Academy 135th scale, and how other people are saying it's the best model kit that they've ever had, and various other things like that. And so all I need to say is simply this, guys. I have had some good kits. I have had some bad kits. I have had some great kits. I have had some terrible kits. This Friday, I should have the finances together. Just a quick thing off the subject. I should have the finances together to pay Dirk Pritchett to have him ship my Cardassian Galor or Gaylor class cruisers from 1997 pop from AMT. Not that there's been a repop of those ships yet, unfortunately. And it's my birthday this coming Monday, March 17th. And some friends and family have already gotten me my birthday presents. And one of them was a Mark 48 A2 Patton tank from Monogram. And a lot of people have told me that the Monogram kits really aren't that good. And I'm honestly inclined to believe them, to be honest with you, simply because this kit is just a pain in the ass. But anyway, I'll get back to that kit. I'm going to go back to the subject at hand about kits in general. As I said, I've had some good kits, I've had some bad kits, I've had some great kits, I've had some shit kits. It's not necessarily just the manufacturer in question. Again, every time someone mentioned, oh god, what are they called? What's that company called now? Airfix. Basically, I'll pick on Airfix. Most people are going to be going Smurf, but anyway, in England, Airfix for a very long time was known as the poor man's model kit company because their cockpits would have very, very little to no detail for a very long time, and it would take about 4 or 5 weeks just to have a person, a modeler of any level of skill, custom build the interior to be proper. And then a lot of people say, well, what about Academy? What about Tamiya? What about this company, that company, etc., etc., Dragon, there's so many out there. And there goes my Skype. Who's calling me? Thank you. And sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it was always a pain because I knew that I could afford an Airfix kit, but I knew in order to make that Airfix kit decent, I would have to do a lot of work to get it to be where it's at. And again, guys, I really like to apologize, but this one person is being very, very stubborn and can't take a frigging hint. And yeah, sorry about that. Just had to tell someone off, tell him to stop freaking messaging me while I'm doing a podcast. And yeah, apparently they can't seem to take the hint. I really am sorry about that, guys. But back to the subject at hand, model kits. Again, you can get some good kits, you can get some bad kits. And it's always been, especially in England, if you want a really good kit, you end up paying a lot of retail for it. And if you want a mediocre kit, you could get them, you could buy them a dime a dozen, but still a mediocre kit is a mediocre kit. And no matter how much work you do, there is absolutely no way you could ever get that mediocre kit to be as good as that better kit. And so, yeah, it is going to be one of those podcasts where I complain about. I wouldn't say complain, but it's a pod. This is going to probably be a really short podcast today, not as long as I normally would like to. I would really like to get this podcast to go above 30 minutes, but I really don't think there's enough call for people willing to listen to me prattle on for 30 minutes. So, yeah, it's mostly about kits in general. You can't say that Trumpeter, for example, is better than Academy because you've only ever had, one bad Academy kit and you've had nothing but good Trumpeter kits. You can't say that Tamiya is better than Dragon. You can't say that Ultimate Soldier is better than... There are so many different model kit companies out there. You can't truthfully deep down say that one kit is better than another regardless, just simply because of how you've been treated by that kit or that company in the past. I'm a firm believer in it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to Dickens what's the company's personal take on, say, the I don't know, any conflict you pick. For example, the one that's going on right now between the Ukraine and Russia. Okay, if you got a model kit from Russia, from a Russian company, and a model kit from a Ukrainian company, are you just going to pick the Ukrainian company and throw the Russian company's kit in the trash? Political stuff. I tend to stay away from political stuff in my podcast, but a lot of people have asked me for my outside-in thoughts about U.S. politics, and that's a whole nother can of worms. And I may do a Friday podcast where I will mention. Well, I will bring up certain things that I think should be even remotely talked about, so to say. And so what I plan on doing is, again, the Friday one will probably be like an evening thing. So I'll get some other people in here and get their points of view and things like that. But back to the kits thing. Again, guys, I tend to not be a fanboy. And that's ultimately what it is you're a kit fanboy. I've never been a fanboy of just any one company in particular. I've done Academy, I've done Trumpeter, I've done Dragon, I've done Tamiya, I've even done some resin homemade kits from companies. Right now I'm working, as I was telling you guys, and I'll say I've got the instructions right in front of me. I'm working on a Mark 48 A2 pattern from Monogram. That's my birthday present from one of the viewers on Amazing Plastic. I actually got a new 24-inch LED flat panel TV, which I'm using as a monitor for my computer. So I can have my Xbox and a few other things, in my own office. So if I want to play a little bit of Xbox, I can just power it on and play and things like that. But truth be told, when it concerns my birthday, I really don't give two hoo-has. It's your birthday, happy birthday. Let's spoil you rotten. No. I don't want to be spoiled. I'd rather share the spoilness for everyone. Mike Darpenio, he did a really sweet thing, and he phone ordered in a pizza for me at my local pizza parlor, and they delivered it with a message saying happy birthday. And I shared the pizza with all of my friends who were over. I wasn't going to grab the pizza and run into my bedroom and eat it by myself or anything like that. I shared it with all of my friends and family, and some of my friends didn't even recognize it was my birthday coming up on Monday. They thought that my birthday was in April for some reason, and they're scrounging around trying to find me a birthday card or something. And truth be told, guys, I don't want a birthday card. I don't want trees to be slashed and turned into mulch and paper to have a birthday card. I don't want that. If anything, do something nice for your loved ones. Take your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or whoever out. Take them to a nice restaurant, not McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or anything like that, but an actual nice local restaurant. Sit down, have a meal, and if they ask what's this all about, say I'm celebrating a friend's birthday, and just don't send me the bill. But yeah, guys, that's where I'm going to end this podcast today. I'm just going to end it with a simple sentence, which is, it doesn't matter what you build. Train, plane, car, automobile, it doesn't matter, guys. Don't be a fanboy to just one brand, and be only about that one brand, and only that brand. Okay, mate? Because, trust me, guys, it's just not worth it. It is just not worth it. You are going to cause more enemies than friends. You're going to be isolated. You're going to be alone. And same with genres. Don't just stick to one genre. I may be known as the Armor King, but I have built a few sci-fi models. I've got a couple of Star Trek models looking at me. I've got a couple of car models looking at me. I've got some aircraft looking at me. I've got a Star Wars AT-AT looking at me that I've built. I've got some Stormtrooper figurines that I've built. I've got, don't just be a fanboy of one specific thing, guys. Fanboyism will only be a detriment to our hobby. Okay, guys? And I'm going to end it with stay safe, have fun, peace and love and respect. And please, guys, if you're listening to this in your car, drive safe, get home safe, and give your family a big hug and kiss. Peace and love, guys. And guys, don't forget, why don't you stop by our wonderful sponsors here at Amazing Plastic. That would be Tanner Controls. They bring your models to life. Acrylicos Vallejo Airbrush Paints. The Fiber Optics Store, Lou's Aztecs Dummy Painting Masks, Awata Matea Airbrushes, and PM Hobbycraft. And as always, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast, and I will see you in the next one.